Herzlich willkommen auf der Spiel 2024. I'm here with Jeffrey. Hello.
Hello, thank you for coming.
And you have something for us that is called Grand Odyssey. What is it about?
Grand Odyssey is its own standalone tabletop system, but we created it to be a modular system. Many people that are very fan of their own tabletop system or are scared to move to a different system like Pathfinder or Dungeons & Dragons that played it for years and years, or feel like there's something lacking, it is something they really want to do, but they want to do a little bit more. We created a system that is its own system, but you can take everything out of it as a modular piece and add it to your own game, your own campaign, and own adventures. That is the core concept of Grand Odyssey.
Ah, okay. So let's have a look inside. This is the core book.
Yes.
It's all about the rules in this.
Yes, this is all about the rules. There's some lore in it, but we kept it lore light, only for the purpose that if you have your own setting, your own game, the lore isn't applicable. A lore book will come later as a hardcover and it is dedicated for the lore, and it will be very extensive. So you have the complete lore and vision that we have created as a group.
Yes, that's what I want to know, because if I say, yeah, I like the system, but the lore is not for me, I can take this book, can take everything out of it I need for my playstyle, for my game, and can implement it.
Yes, that is exactly why we did it like that. So it is literally a modular system, and you can use exactly what you want and ignore what you don't want. And that's what we want to create.
And if I like the lore, I can later purchase the lore book.
Exactly, that's exactly what it was meant for.
Everything else you want us to show, because you said it's about the system itself, something, oh, this might be good to know or important?
Well, things that are very favorable by the community is our dodge and armor system. Many people struggle with the concept of armor in tabletop role-playing game. They have many thoughts and many theories. We have our dodge system, which is the basic thing to hit in Dungeons & Dragons. There will be the AC, pretty much the same standard. And we have our armors, and our armors are designed of real historical armors with the same immunity, the same resistances as a real armor should function, but also the same weaknesses. The more armor you stack, the less your dodge will be, so you're easier to hit. So there is a balancing system, because if they hit too high, they can crit and damage your armor. And at a certain point, your armor will fall off you in combat. You don't want that. So there is a balancing act that is very easy to explain and easy to use as well.
Okay, very nice. So I can choose, oh, I take some light armor and I'm more agile, or I want to be more protected, but at a cost that I'm an easier target to hit.
Yes, exactly. Our full plate armor is the same as medieval armor. It sounds very scary because it has immunity to slashing and immunity to piercing, and that sounds broken for like a barbarian that has resistance at those things. However, your dodge becomes very low, and the armor has a crippling weakness against daggers. How knights would fight is not with swords. They try to tackle each other, wrestle to the ground, grab the dagger, and brings it in. And that's how the armor functions. It is very functional. And that's how we recreate it, to get that feeling back in role-playing games. So that
So that, oh, I have an armor class and that's it. Now I have also some weakness in this armor.
Yes, exactly. Like all armors have a function. Either they are very powerful but has a crucial flaw, or they're very well-rounded and balanced. Like a leather armor, it gives little bonuses but keeps your dodge very high. And if you don't get hit, you don't get damage. So there's also a trade-off. However, if someone gets a lucky hit or a critical roll, you're going to take that full damage. So how much do you want to risk?
Yeah. So we have a little look inside. Anything else you want to highlight, or?
Things that we really want to highlight is the character customization. Not only do you have the classes and the species that you can choose, for beginning players we have an extensive list of questions that you can ask yourself as a character. to really enhance your play. Like if you're a new player and your game master is like, write a backstory for him for the campaign. You probably go like flatlining and it's like, I don't know, I never wrote something. There are simple questions like 35, I believe. Like, are you left-handed or right-handed? Do you have a scar? How do you get that scar? Do you have a family? Do you have a tattoo? Has it a meaning? Do you have a cult or a street name? Things like that, that gives you like a concept of your character. And it's like, the game master can use that now for the backstory and connect things. Also things that we have is the 16 personality system, because that gives more in-depth, like just an alignment of, I'm a good person, I killed that bandit, so I'm the hero now. But that bandit could be like the hero of a starving village, attacking things for food, and you're the villain for them. So that's more of a personal perspective. But your personality will always be the same, like introvert or extrovert, sensing and feeling. So it's very in-depth of character creation to make the perfect character that you want to make, that you want to play. And of course, a little thing that anyone can use, Constellation, Birth Signs, everybody would love that. Little bonuses, and DM has an entire year calendar.
So it's also very beginner friendly. If it's maybe my first session at role playing and I have zero ideas, okay, I have the background in the rules, yeah, I know how to rule, but then it's the other part about the storytelling and my character. And sometimes people are, yeah, rules are no problem, but background storytelling, it's a hard thing to come up with.
Yeah, it is very daunting and scary for a new player to roleplay. And mostly they will sit at a table, see other roleplay, and they're missing out. So we have an implement system of advantages and disadvantages that are D4s that you add to your roles. However, you get to choose if you're doing anything, doesn't matter what, that you say like, hey, I want to do this and this, and you can get advantages if the game master allows. Like, I'm a rogue, I want to sneak in the alleyway and stay in the shadows. It's like, all right, that's very good things. Like, you get 2 advantages, one for staying in the alleyways and one for the shadows. However, you can also flip that. Like, no, you get 2 disadvantages because one, your party member is holding a torch as he follows you, and the alleyway is crowded because you haven't checked first. So then you get disadvantages. So it has a narrative purpose to drive the story.
Yeah. Anything else you want to point out, or I think it covers the basics most. We know it's mostly the core rules, so I can take anything out I like for my game. If I like the lore, it's presented here, I can buy the lore book.
Yeah. Things for this work, because it's beginner friendly, it's also beginning friendly for the game master. There's a chapter there for game masters of like, how do you build up a campaign? First rule is keep it simple, very important, but also like, how do you connect back story characters from your party? How do you make a big bad evil guy? How do you have henchmen from it? How do you rule things, and what do you do when you have a problem player? What if they are also a good player and suddenly they become a problem player? Talk to them, be kind, be understanding and all that. Like, should be very clear rules, but not everybody knows it or implements it. And like a list of consent, very important. I'm advocating that I want to be in any tabletop role-playing game. Unfortunately, they are not there.
I think, yeah, as you say, there are some basic rules, but you have to know these basic rules first if you're a beginner with tabletop games. And I think it's important that we have them here, and the players, also the players and the game master, have also this help.
Yeah. Other things that we have a monster system that is balanced or has a matrix behind it, so it's very easy to create an on-the-spot balanced encounter for your party, which is very hard in certain systems. But we have a mechanic that has a easy, medium, hard system. Like an easy monster is 3 of these monsters against 1 player, medium is 1-on-1, and a hard is 3 players against 1 monster. So on the spot you can just ram out these monsters on the floor. Oh, this is taking too long, I want to go do a quick encounter, but I don't accidentally want to kill them. It's always a threat of it. We made a system that is very easy for that. And also a celestial system. I don't know if you are also interested in hearing that. So in some games you have a celestial system, like a priest, a cleric, paladin, warlock. You have a subclass or some devotion that you have, but you need to flavor a deity to it. Some classes or some builds in games don't really match the deity that you want to portray. And then you struggle as a player or as a game master to think of ways that are fun. Some people do not have that creativity. So what we did is like, all right, let's just make our own system for these deities, for those games. You now choose the deity, and they give the power for the priest or cleric. They give the powers for the paladin. They give the power for the warlocks, all tailored to their portfolio. Plus, we have a list of powers that you can gain the better you follow them. So you can increase it, but also decrease that if you're not following them. This same system also works for your rogue or your ranger. If you want to follow that deity but don't want to level in classes of paladin or warlock or whatever, you can still get these powers like, I am a follower of 4. I am proud. I will not leave the battlefield. I will be in the front line. You get those power boosts, but you do not get those devotion. You don't get the magic because you're not a cleric. You're just a warrior that's on the field.
But you get some benefits in believing in.
Exactly. So if you're going to do a Norse mythology theme, you can take all the Norse gods, and even if you're a barbarian, you can go 4 Odin, 4 and just rush into the battlefield and get those powers. It makes sense, and it's narrative driven. It gives them the power and ability for an amazing story that you will remember for years. That is the power of Grand Odyssey, the customization.
Well, thanks very much. I wish you good luck with the Korbak and at the last 2 days here at the Spiel.
Yes.
I hope you had fun so far.
Oh, it has been amazing. I met so many amazing people. They had fun. We're doing one-shots at the table as well as we are doing now. Everybody is appreciative of the work we've done.
First time here? Or?
This is the first time, not the last time, definitely. Oh, we will be more.
Well then, good luck, and I hope we see you again next year here.
Oh, definitely, yes, 100%.
Thanks.